all the other teams have scored under 10 points. So the Corsairs, that tells you something about the Corsairs. If they can score 34 points against Feather River, that tells you they're a team to beat. And so we'll see about this game today. And like you said, both teams are looking to fight this game out, and hopefully the Corsairs come up with the win today.
And speaking of Feather River won their bowl game against Merced last week, which just kind of speaks volumes about how good of season they had. In fact, now that going back to last year, they have won 21 games in a row.
Yeah, Feather River is a tough team to beat, and I kind of got into the start of the second quarter when I was watching that Feather River game. But I tell you what, Corsairs fought their hearts out last week against Feather River. They fought so hard, and before they played Peninsula, the game against Foothill, everybody put down Corsairs and said, oh no, they can't beat Foothill. But guess what? They came back and surprised everybody in that game against Foothill.
Captains just met at midfield. We're just about ready for the playing of our national anthem. And then we will have the opening kickoff here at the Redwood Bowl on the campus of Cal Poly Humboldt. Hakeem Sadan, next door to us, doing a great job as the public address announcer. And now we have the singing of our national anthem. Max Tapalua, who is a freshman from Eureka High School, doing a nice job with his rendition of the national anthem. Our officials today and the crew that works today's game, it's a real honor and a privilege for them because they earn the right to officiate a game like this. The referee is James Johnson, the umpire is Steve Brown, the head linesman Troy Welch, the line judge is Rich Robles, the side judge is Keaton Cahill, the field judge is Brad Steinman, and the back judge is Craig Hanna. So we are just about ready for the opening kickoff. And Grant, just kind of your thoughts on what you think are going to be some of the keys in today's game.
The keys in today's game are going to be when the Corsairs get on offense to be smart on the snap count and not to have the false starts and during the regular season game the penalties is what has shot Corsairs in the foot. It's the false starts. It's the holding penalties. It's everything that the Corsairs have done to up to this point. But the keys to the game is smart. Be smart on offense. Control the ball on both sides.
Okay, Sergi Rodas Mendoza will kick off for MPC, and it's going to be a short kick that's going to be fielded and then dropped and then picked up at about the 15-yard line, and it's going to be returned by Pretty, who's going to be brought down immediately at about the 18-yard line. So that's where the Corsair offense will take over on their first possession of the game.
Yeah, and so we'll see how Max Huff does on the first drive here, and talk about Max Huff. He's He's done so much ever since he stepped up to that. Looks like we have a sideline warning on the Monterey Peninsula bench. So, I don't know if I saw a flag. I didn't see a flag or anything, but it was just a sideline warning.
Looks like the ball's going to actually be spotted at the 13-yard line, so the Corsairs will start at the 13. But like you mentioned, sideline warning against MPC. So the Corsairs will take over with freshman Max Huff at quarterback.
Now, I don't know. Did you watch Max Huff when he was at Fortuna
I
High
did.
School?
Actually did some of his games, exactly. So with Huff at quarterback on first down, they're going to just keep it on the ground, and they're going to give the ball to Ibon Agwan, and he's going to run straight up the middle, and he's across the line of scrimmage and out to about the 19-yard line, a gain of 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, good run, good block up the middle by the Corsairs, and that's what they need to start off with is a strong block up middle, so that way they have the gap right there.
Head coach Jason White, also the offensive coordinator. We've got motion to the left now. Huff wants to throw, but I believe we're going to have a whistle and a stop at your play.
Looks like a false start against the Corsairs, and that's what I was mentioning before. Is the momentum, the momentality that the Corsairs have, and this is what drives them back is the false start.
Okay, so the penalty will be against the Corsairs. So Max Huff gets the start at quarterback. The starting tailback is Emmanuel Ibanagwan. At slot back, it's DeMario Watson. The left wide receiver, Jaden Burns. The right wide receiver is Dante Hurt. And the tight end is Caleb Price. Now, motion to the left, they're going to pitch it to Ibagawan. And Ibagawan is going to carry the ball across the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be brought down at about the 20-yard line, about 3 yards short of a first down. So coming up for the Corsairs, it's going to be third and call it 3.
Yeah. And again, right there, the block outside gives the momentum to the Corsairs to bring the ball up across the line of scrimmage.
Also in the game at running back for the Corsairs, it's Levi Nyberg. So the Corsairs now with a couple guys in the backfield. With Huff at quarterback, it's going to be third and call it 3. Huff wants to throw, steps up being pressured, and he is going to be sacked back at the 14-yard line by number 95, Joseph Finley.
And that play right there, they collapsed right there. They saw the man coming, but nobody was there to block it. So that's one thing that the Corsairs have to think about too, is where the pressure's coming from the right or to the left, from the left.
So a loss of 5 yards. It's going to be 4th and 8. That's Huff back in punt formation. Gets the punt away. Kind of a low-line drive punt that Seth Maldonado will field at the 45. And Maldonado's across midfield. He's in the CR territory. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. And he's finally going to be shoved out of bounds by Price, who saves a touchdown at about the 3-yard line. So a big play by the Lobos special teams.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the Corsairs are going to have to watch out for is in that first meeting, the Lobos had the big running plays, not just on the punt returns, but also on the kickoff returns as well.
So a 52-yard punt return by Maldonado.
And Caleb Price was lucky right there to stop the saving touchdown. Otherwise, if he would not have been there, I believe the Lobos would have scored on that touchdown.
So it will be Skylar Klimek at quarterback. The backs are in an I formation behind him. They're going to give it to the second man through, who's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So a real challenge for the CR defense trying to protect the short field.
Yeah.
Ball carrier was number 8. That's Gerald Norty. So Norty in the backfield. Going to be 2nd and goal. Ball spotted between the 3 and the 4 yard line. They're going to give it to Norte again, who's going to try to find some running room, and he once again is going to be stopped after a very short gain. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, and the Corsairs defense right there, they know how short of field advantage they have. So hopefully they can stop them here again and make them go 3 out and out on this play.
This time they're going to give it to Norte again, and he is going to be tackled.
Oh, looks like
the ball ends up coming loose. CR indicating as if they have the football, and we're waiting for a signal from the officials. So the CR defense comes up with a huge play.
Oh, we do have a signal. They're saying he was down. So the judge on the other side said he was down. So it's going to end up being 4th down. So the Corsairs, the Lobos got lucky there. That the Corsairs thought they stripped it, but according to the official and according to the judge on the other side, stopped them.
Yeah, and actually now what has happened is that the CR defense is going to have to hustle out on the field. So somebody's going to have to call a timeout right now.
Yeah, I think that's what Jason White's doing here.
Okay, so Redwoods will take a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. Julian Garcia thought that he had recovered a fumble.
Yeah, he thought he stripped the ball, but according to the judge on the far side, he had his hand up and said his knee was down. So the Lobos got lucky there. So that was a good that was a good 3 and out by the defense. Where they knew where they were. They knew they had to stop them at the 4 yard line. So that was a good stop for the Corsairs on defense.
And it appears now that Sergi Rodas Mendoza will attempt a field goal. It's going to be a 21-yard field goal attempt. And he is 3 for 10 this season. Going to be kind of kicking from that right hash mark. Now they're going to have a fake field goal, and they had a man wide open, and the pass was overthrown. It was intended for their first team all-conference tight end, David Payne, who was lined up on the left side. He was wide open in the end zone, and the holder ended up overthrowing Payne.
That was a good play by the Lobos right there. I believe if he would have caught that, that would have been a touchdown. But the Corsairs were caught off guard by that. And that's something that the Corsairs are going to have to watch for too. Is a lot of the trick plays by the Lobos.
So the pass incomplete. So the Corsairs are going to get the ball back. They're going to start this drive deep in their own territory. That's Price in motion to the left, and they're going to keep it on the ground, and they're going to give it to Mbagawan, and he is going to carry the ball across the line of scrimmage and out to about the 10-yard line. So a good pickup of 6 yards on first down.
Yeah. And that's the same thing again. They know where they're at, and that's what they got to do is keep it on the ground until they can get out of their own territory and down the other way.
So the Corsairs kind of dodge a bullet with Monterey Peninsula having 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, but they end up coming up empty-handed.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2nd and call it a long 4 at the 10. Huff wants to throw. He dumps it out in the flat. And the pass is going to be caught, and that's Watson making the catch. And Watson's across the 15 and out to about the 18-yard line. But we do have a flag down right at the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if there's going to be a hold on against the Corsairs, or it could be on the defense.
Officials kind of conferring with one another right now. And it's going to be a holding penalty against the Corsairs. It's going to be on number 71. That's Carlos Duenas, who was a first-team All-League selection. Freshman from Eureka.
So that's what I was talking about before, is the smartness of the plays, is the holding penalties, and that's what the Corsairs have shot themselves with, is the false starts and the holding penalties. And so where they're at right now, they got to be smart on offense.
So instead of a first down, it's going to be 2nd and long, and they're going to keep it on the ground, and the ball carrier is going to be tackled after a short gain of maybe about a yard out to the 6-yard line. And once again, that was Ibanaguan carrying the ball for the Corsairs. So coming up for CR, it's going to be 3rd and 8. No score. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter of the Grizzly Bowl here at the Redwood Bowl on the campus of Cal Poly Pomona, or Cal Poly Humboldt, as they want to throw it out in the flat, and they do. And the pass is complete over on the far side of the field. And making the catch is Hurt, and then Hurt doing a nice job in the open field, able to make a move and pick up enough for a first down out to the 17-yard line. So our first down of the game, 12-yard pass play on the pass from Huff to Hurt, and the Corsairs have a first down at the 17. And on first down from the 17, they're going to run it straight up the middle. And Ibagawan with a nice hole is across the 25, and he's out to the 29-yard line. So CR now starting to kind of find some rhythm offensively with back-to-back first downs.
Yeah, and when they were back at the 8-yard line, they would have had a first down except for the holding penalty marched them backwards. And so right now they're doing really good on offense and moving the ball up the field.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 29 with Huff at quarterback and Ibanaguan in the backfield. And the give is to Ibanaguan, who's trying to find some running room. He's going to bounce to the outside and does find some running room as he's across the 30 and out to about the 34-yard line before being brought down by Kassan Dixon and Guy Bessie.
Yeah, and the Lobos are trying to figure out what they're doing, and they're reading the play here and there, but the run plays are throwing the Lobos off here a little bit, and the offense is doing a really good job of blocking them and having a running lane for Ibagawam to get through.
A gain of 5, so it will be 2nd and 5. Some movement up front. We've got a flag. Might be a free play, and the pass is overthrown. Pass was intended for Burns at about the 45-yard line, but we do have a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and the Lobos may have jumped off sides.
Yeah, that's what it was. The right side, the right guard on this side, number 95, Joseph Finley, jumped off side. So it was a free play, and it looks like it's not going to be enough.
I think they're going to move the chain.
They are going to move the chain, so it's going to be enough for a Corsairs first down.
So just enough for a first down out to the 39-yard line.
Corsairs are moving the ball now. This is the momentum they got to get themselves in, is moving the ball up the field and finding some lanes to get through. Here comes the pressure again.
MPC shows blitz. They're going to dump it out in the flat to Ibanaguan, who's going to be brought down immediately, and he's actually going to be tackled by one of the leaders of the defense, as he is going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Adam Rostron in on the tackle along with Jacob Lambeth.
Adam was the one that brought the blitz in. Adam was the one that started the blitz and came in, and I think that's what distracted the Max Huff a little bit from the throw, and that's why they were able to get him in the backfield.
Lambeth, one of the leaders of the defense. He was the league defensive player of the year as a freshman and was actually at Colorado State before returning to MPC, and he's putting pressure on Huff right now, who has to just throw it away.
So there's no intentional grounding, as there was a player in the area.
Huff under a heavy rush, doing a nice job of avoiding the sack and just kind of throwing it away without being called for grounding. So it's going to be 3rd and 14 for the Corsairs at their own 35. Clock stops with 7:14 remaining in what has been a scoreless first quarter here in the Grizzly Bowl. Huff with time, sets up, looks across the middle, and the pass is going to be caught, and it's going to be good enough for a first down. Hurt making the catch in traffic, as Huff does a great job of threading the needle.
And that's what Hurt does. He will be the man who gets across the field, and nobody's back there in order to get him, And so Huff finds her, and he's able to make the play for a first down.
On 3rd and 14, a gain of 17 and a first down.
Yeah, that's a good play by Max Huff.
Bryce Gratz is going to check out of the game as Ibonagwan checks back in. So the Corsairs, for the first time today, with the ball in MPC territory. First down at the 48, they're going to keep it on the ground, and it's Ibonagwan running straight up the middle. Ball ended up coming loose late, or some extracurricular activities taking place. It's going to be a short gain on the play, a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, there's some extracurricular activity going on. The player got taken down by one of the Lobos, but after the whistle, so the referees just were there to step in and break it up before anything happened between them.
So a gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Motion to the left. They're going to pitch it to Ibonagwan, and he is going to be brought down after a very short gain. And right there in on the tackle is Lambeth.
Yeah, Lambeth right there was able to read the play right there, and he saw where Ibonagwan was going, and that's why he was able to get him down where it was at.
Coming up for the Corsairs, this will be the 12th play of the drive, a drive that started at their own 4-yard line after the Lobos missed out on a great opportunity to score after a 52-yard punt return by Maldonado. Ibonagwan now is going to keep it on a fly sweep, and he's inside the 40, inside the 35, and he's going to pick up another CR first down with the 10-yard run.
So this is where the Corsairs right now are going to be dangerous down at this end of the field. They got to play smart on this one. They're down at the 35-yard line, and they're close to getting a touchdown. So they got to be smart. They got to read the snap count and everything.
Corsairs with some rhythm offensively as Huff wants to throw. He's got to flush out of the pocket, tries to dump it off out in the flat, and making a nice catch as he was falling down at about the 30-yard line. That is Watson. So Watson makes the catch and ends up picking up 4 yards on the play as he made the catch as he was falling backwards.
And Demario Watson and Caleb Price are two of the receivers that Huff likes to go to. And Ibonagwan is doing really good on the running on the ground.
Got a flag down, 2nd and 6, and the pass is going to be complete to Burns, who makes the catch before being brought down at the 10-yard line.
And it looks like it's going to be another offsides against the Lobos. So it was a free play and more.
Norty in on the tackle. Line of scrimmage was the 35, and it will be offsides against the Lobos. So the penalty will be declined, and it's a 25-yard pickup and another CR first down. So the Corsairs now in the green zone, which is inside the 10-yard line, where it will be 1st and goal for the Corsairs offense. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. No score between the Lobos and the Corsairs. They give it to Ibonagwan, and he is going to run over that left side and pick up about 4 yards to the 5-yard line before being brought down by Andrew Speech. Corsairs making some substitutions on offense right now. It's going to be 2nd and goal at the 5.
So this is where the Corsairs right now are going to be dangerous right here. Look for Caleb Price, or Caleb Price is not out there. Correction. Caleb Price is usually the man they go to when they go down.
So now we're going to have
Timeout.
So the Lobos are going to take a timeout, and I think the Lobos were struggling a little bit from a personnel standpoint because CR had made some changes on offense. So the Corsairs are knocking on the door. Coming up is going to be the
They worked the ground, they threw some, and they had some free.
19 plays, 96 yards, the numbers on that scoring drive, as Huff ends up scoring the touchdown for the Corsairs. Huff with his 5th touchdown of the season, his 4th rushing touchdown. And then Haller successful with the extra point.
Seth is back deep for the Lobos.
Going to be a short kick that's going to be taken at about the 19-yard line by Maldonado, who has some running room. He's across the 30, he's across the 40, before being brought down at about the 44-yard line. So a nice 25-yard kickoff return by Seth Maldonado.
And so here comes the Corsairs defense again. Let's see if they can stop the momentum again against the Lobos from doing the same thing the Corsairs did on the other side.
Corsairs, as we talked about earlier, quarterback Skylar Klimek, who's a freshman from Carmel, getting his first start of the season. Now you have Maldonado in motion to the right. They're going to dump it off to Maldonado, who makes the catch, breaks one tackle, and is still on his feet before being brought down at the 47-yard line. Finally making the play. That was Stubing after Maldonado was able to avoid a tackle by Pretty, a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, Mason Pretty there was on the tackle, and Mason Pretty on the defense is really good on the attack too.
One of 10 College of the Redwoods players to earn all conference honors. That's Maldonado in motion to the left. And this time the quarterback's just going to keep it himself, and Klimek is just going to run straight up the middle and maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. That play was very slow in developing, and the CR defense doing a nice job of staying home.
Yeah, and again, the Corsairs defense from when the Lobos were down at the 4-yard line, this is the momentum they have to have on defense, and they got to be smart right here.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Lobos offense, less than a minute remaining. Now the pass is going to be complete out in the flat, and that's Joshua Elmore, who now is checked in the game of quarterback. And that's going to be Devin Brad making the catch, but he's going to be brought down well short of a first down.
So again, the Corsairs defense stopped them and they made them go 3 and out.
So no gain on the play. It's going to be 4th and 7. So 2 possessions, 2 different quarterbacks for Monterey Peninsula. And that is at the end of the first quarter. So we're going to take a quick break in the action at the end of 1 quarter. It's the College of the Redwoods Corsairs 7 and the Monterey Peninsula College Lobos nothing. And we'll be back with more right after this short break. Kassan Dixon with the punt by the Lobos that's going to actually be downed inside the 5-yard line. So a 52-yard punt on the first play of the second quarter. And the Corsairs, once again, they will start this drive from deep in their own territory, this time at their own 1-yard line, leading by a score of 7-0. And Grant, your thoughts on what we saw from both teams in the first quarter?
Yeah, first of all, the defense from the offense from the Corsairs really good on the run on the ground, and then that punt. But the 52-yard punt from the Lobos drove them down to the 4-yard line, and the Corsairs saw that they were close to the touchdown, and they stopped them. And so both teams are going at it, and that's what we like for both. That's what we like seeing from both teams.
Huff working out of his own end zone is going to hand the ball off to Ibagawan, and Ibagawan is going to do a good job of just getting out of the end zone, as he's going to be brought down after a short gain at the 2-yard line. So very important for CR right now, ball security, making sure you don't make a mistake when you're backed up deep into your own territory. So it's going to be kind of a challenge for head coach and offensive coordinator Jason White and the CR offense to try to figure out a way to dig themselves out of this hole, which they did earlier in the game.
Right, yeah.
So on second down, they're going to keep it on the ground, and the ball carrier for the Corsairs is going to carry the ball out to about the 5-yard line.
And see, this is the same thing that they have to do every time, is try to get out of their own territory, and that's what they did down here at the other end of the field, is they work the ground with Ibagawan running the ball up the lane, trying to find any type of areas to get through.
Like that was Gabe Ward, who was in the game, who carried the ball out to about the 5. So it's going to be 3rd and 6 from the 5. Huff now being pressured, and he is going to be sacked back at the 3-yard line. And once again, coming up with the sack, that's number 95, Joseph Finley, 6'6", 233, a freshman from Palma. Played his high school football at Palma, which is located in Salinas.
Mm-hmm. And that's the third time that they have been able to get to Max Huff, and the offensive line didn't crash down on that, and so that's why the defense were able to get through.
Line drive punt by Huff that's finally going to be picked up by Maldonado at the 48, and Maldonado is going to be brought down right away. In fact, Maldonado, in the process of maybe fielding the punt, his knee, when he went down to pick up the football, just based on where they're going to spot the ball, his knee may have touched the ground, so he was ruled down before he actually returned the ball.
Yeah, and that's why the referee threw the marker down the beanbag to mark the spot, and that's what he said was his knee was down before he moved the ball.
So a 46-yard punt. Elmore's still in the game at quarterback, so Elmore coming off the bench today, and on first down, they're going to hand the ball off.
And the ball's out.
That's to Devin Brad, and the ball apparently has come loose. We're waiting for a signal from down on the field, and it will be CR football.
I didn't see what happened, but all I saw was the Corsairs on the ground, and the beanbag come out from the head official, and the Corsairs must have stripped it or something.
It's like number 25, Tice Wiggum, recovering that fumble for the Corsairs. So we have our first
penalties, because this is the perfect place to start, right at the 50-yard line, working their way in.
And Huff wants to throw on first down, and this one's going to be tipped, and it's going to be intercepted as it's picked off by Gomez, and Gomez with some running room is going to run down the near sideline before being brought down inside the 20-yard line by Ibagawan. So we have a couple of sudden change situations, the fumble by the Lobos, and then the interception by the Corsairs.
If you look and see, I don't think Max Huff knew where he was looking for Watson, I believe, and I believe the middleman was the one that tipped the ball up in order for Gomez to pick the ball off.
So it will be a first down for Monterey Peninsula at the CR 13.
So back and forth we go with
Elmore quarterback. They're going to give it to Maldonado on a fly sweep, and he's really having a hard time finding running room, and he's going to cut back and do a pretty good job of just picking up a couple of yards on the play.
Yeah, and the Corsairs defense was right there on the coverage, and he knew he wasn't going to go anywhere. He tried to escape, but he saw the pressure coming, and he knew he wasn't going to escape from there.
So back-to-back turnovers. So Elmore quarterback. You've got Norty in the backfield. Elmore wants to throw, dumps it off to Maldonado, and Maldonado is going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage on a nice open field tackle by Stubbe.
Yeah, and the Corsairs are looking here to go another 3 and out with the Lobos threatening in their territory. And like you said, this is the Queen territory down here.
From just inside the 12. Elmore, back to pass, rolls to his right, wants to run, looks downfield, loses the ball. It's loose, it's on the ground, and it's recovered by Sandusky. Back at the 18-yard line, but now they might say...
Looked like his arm was coming forward on the pass, so the head official, the referee, was right there making the incomplete pass signal. So it looks like now they're going to confer with this, but it was hard to tell, but the official was saying incomplete pass.
And I think that's the ruling on the field right now. Coach Hawk doing a nice job of straightening things out and letting us know that that was the ruling on the field. So now they're going to line up to attempt another field goal. This is Sergi Rodas Mendoza. This is going to be about a 29-yard field goal attempt. Line of scrimmage is the 12. Snap spot, the kick is up, and it is no good. It's wide to the left.
And the Monterey Peninsula does not like the call on the field, and looks like there's still some chirping from the Lobos, and the officials are telling them to get off the field. So they're saying, one official saying no good. So it looks like the call on the field is going to be a no good for the Lobos. So the Corsairs hold them again.
So Rodas Mendoza was the one that was
Lobos being in their territory.
And on first down, the Corsairs are going to throw the ball out in the flat, and it's going to be caught by Burns. Burns makes the catch, and he's going to be close to a first down. So the line of scrimmage after that missed field goal is the 20-yard line, and they're going to move the chain, so it will be a first down for CR.
So there again, that goes to show you the defense, the strength of the defense of the Corsairs, making the Lobos go 3 and out again and having them miss the field goal.
Huff's pass was deflected, but it's still going to be caught by Hurt, and then Hurt is going to be tackled just short of a first down at the 39-yard line.
Is it just me, or is the defense getting their hands up when Max Huff throws the football?
And I think that's something that they've been doing on a consistent basis. So I don't think that, even though both of us wear glasses, I don't think you're seeing anything, right?
I don't think I'm seeing it either, but it looks like every time Max Huff throws it right at the middle, they're getting their hands up to swat the ball down.
So it's going to be second and short for the Corsairs. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. College of the Redwoods 7, Monterey Peninsula nothing. And now we've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. We have a flag down over on the far side of the field.
And it looks like it's going to be a false start again against the Corsairs.
Okay, Huff coming into today's game had completed 131 of his 215 attempts for 1,962 yards, completing 61% of his passes. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he's only thrown 1 interception since becoming the starter in week 5. So he's only thrown 1 interception in the last 6 weeks. Going to be 2nd and 5. This time they're going to run a trick play, and on a reverse, they're going to pitch the ball to Hurt, and Hurt is going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1 yard on a play.
Looked like Hurt pitched around to, was that Watson or was that Hurt on the...
I think Watson ended up giving it to Hurt is what maybe ended up happening. So it ended up being a reverse to the left, and it was well defended by the Lobos.
They read that perfectly.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 now, empty backfield with trips to the left and twins to the right. Huff sets up, being pressured, and he is going to be sacked back at the 25-yard line. Once again, making the sack, it looked like it was Finley. And Finley's just having a field day. That's his 3rd sack here in the first half.
Yeah, and again, the Corsairs offense are not breaking down and blocking Finley, because Finley will get back in the backfield and he's reading where Max Huff is at. He's going through the offensive line. So again, the Corsairs are punting the ball away.
Line of scrimmage is the 27-yard line. Huff back in punt formation. Maldonado between the 40 and 45, and Huff mishandles the snap, now can't pick it up, and he is going to end up being tackled inside the 5-yard line. So a special teams breakdown by the Corsairs. There wasn't anything wrong with the snap. As far as the snap from Caleb Price, Huff just dropped it.
Yeah, and so the Lobos in good field position, but I'm worried that hopefully the Corsairs defense doesn't break down and they hold it together and they stop him here to make him go 3-and-out, because this is the 3rd or 4th possession that the Lobos have had down here at the 5-yard line.
Another short field to work with, and we'll see if the Lobos take advantage this time. They're going to give it to, it's going to be an inside handoff as they fake the handoff to Maldonado, and the ball carrier is going to run straight up the middle. That's Norty, and he's going to pick up a couple yards to about the 3. So this is the 3rd time the Lobos, with their 5th possession of the game, and this is the 3rd time that they've started a drive in the red zone, which is inside the 20-yard line. They've started drives at the 3-yard line, the 13-yard line, and this drive at the 5. This time they're going to give it to Maldonado. Maldonado trying to bounce to the outside, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and leading the way defensively was Stubing.
Yeah, and again, the Corsairs are not letting them get on the outside. Maldonado wants to get on the outside.
He graduated from Los Gatos High School in 2012, played a couple of years at Cabrillo before being a student assistant at San Jose State. He now is in his 2nd year as the OC. And Elmore now is going to roll to his left. He's going to keep it. He's going to flip it into the end zone to Maldonado for an apparent touchdown. So Elmore making a play with his legs, and finally the Lobos are able to take advantage of excellent field position, and they're an extra point away from tying up the Grizzly Bowl.
And guess who was in the backfield? Maldonado was in the backfield, and nobody was there to cover him. So Maldonado on the nice catch from Elmore.
And the extra point this time is up, and it is good. by Rodas Mendoza, and Grant, the game's tied 7-7.
Yeah, great field position. I mean, I didn't really see the snap, but Max Huff looked like he had a hard time catching the ball, catching the snap.
Maldonado scoring the touchdown. That is his 7th touchdown of the season, as the kick is going to be taken at the 8-yard line by the Corsairs. And still on his feet, trying to get to the outside, and now cutting back. We've got a flag down, and finally being brought down at about the 26-yard line. That would be Watson.
Yeah, Watson was trying to get around the outs or cut through the middle, but he ran into his own player. And this one might be coming back. And this one is going to come back against the Corsairs. So, the Corsairs again with the penalties.
Both teams kind of making their share of mistakes as far as just ball security, just being a little sloppy.
Yeah.
Whether it's penalties or turnovers. So the Corsairs now will start this drive from deep in their own territory at their own 10-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the 10.
Another penalty.
And before Huff hands the ball off, we've got a flag down. Stopping the clock with 6:13 remaining in the first half. And the penalty will be against the Corsairs. Tag Wotherspoon along with Grant Sams bringing you all the action from the Redwood Bowl in the Grizzly Bowl on the campus of Cal Poly Humboldt, not to be confused with Cal Poly Pomona.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because when Cal Poly Pomona played volleyball here, it was confusing because I'm like, I know Lumberjacks, and then you got the Mustangs?
Yeah, would the real Cal Poly please stand up? Exactly.
Yeah.
So 1st and 15 from the 5 as Price shifts over to the right side. Huff fakes the handoff, has some time, sets up, looks downfield, and the pass is going to be made by a leaping Price at about the 20-yard line. So Price in traffic goes up and makes the catch and picks up 15 yards and a CR first down.
And again, Caleb Price right there goes to show you that he can be the target for Max Huff. And Caleb Price on a nice catch, but like you said, he was in traffic and he didn't know if he was going to be able to make that catch or not, but he got up, he leaped high to make sure he sealed the catch.
Price a little bit shaken up on the play, checks out as Gratz checks in, and on first down they're going to keep it on the ground. And the ball carrier for the Corsairs over there on the far side of the field is going to be brought down for a 2-yard loss. So it was Ibagawan with the ball carrier. So a loss of 2, it's going to be 2nd and 12. Corsairs with the ball at their own 18 as we approach the 5-minute mark in the second quarter. Lobos 7, Corsairs 7.
And just so you know, the Lobos will get the ball to start the second half for the third quarter. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout here.
And now see our head coach and offensive coordinator, Jason White, not happy with what he's seen from his unit. So he is going to call a timeout with 4:55 remaining in the first half to kind of settle down his offense and to kind of go over some things with his offense.
Yeah. And this is the time, since where they're at right now, this is the time for them to settle down and to be smart on the snap count and not to get the penalties because, like I said before.
Hosted a bowl game since 1995. So it's been 27 years.
Another false start, and this is the thing that I'm talking about. They got to know the snap count. It's either gonna be a false start or it's gonna be offsides.
Okay, so the penalty is against the Corsairs. It's going to be against Gratz, I should say. Bryce Gratz, who played his high school football at St. Bernard's. Good crowd on hand today. Little threat later on this afternoon of some weather. It's a cloudy afternoon up here on the North Coast. So the penalty is going to move the ball back to the 14-yard line, where it's now going to be 2nd and 17. Huff back to pass, sets up, has time, looks across the middle, and completes it to Gratz, who makes the catch close to the first down marker, out at about the 32-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down. So a gain of 18 and a CR first down.
See again, the Corsairs back them up with the false start, and then they find the player that made the mental mistake of false starting, and then he throws it right to Bryce, right in the middle with nobody on him to get the first down.
Gratz with his 10th catch of the season. Now they have motion to the left, and they're going to give the ball off on a fly sweep, and the ball carrier, that is Hurt, and Hurt is going to be brought down after a very short gain. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
How many plays did it take for the Lobos to score in their possession?
It was a 3-play drive.
3-play drive.
3 plays, 5 yards, with the touchdown coming on that 4-yard pass from Elmore to Maldonado. Going to be 2nd and 10. Huff with time now steps up, and the pass is incomplete. We've got a late flag. The pass was intended for Watson.
Looks like it's going to be a pass interference, so this might move the ball up midfield for the Corsairs.
Watson was kind of tangled up when he was trying to make the catch, and it is going to be pass interference against the Lobos. And that will give the Corsairs a first down. So the ball is going to be spotted at the 35-yard line. So it's a spot foul, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Corsairs at the 35. Huff sprints out to his right, now tries to come back to his left, and guess what? Another sack for Joseph Finley. So Finley is having a day. That's his 4th sack of the game.
You see the closure on the defense from the Lobos. They see Max Huff by himself, and they're just running in, and that's when Joseph Finley's right there to get him.
A loss of 9 on the play. Huff sprinted out to his right, then stopped and went back to his left, and Finley was there to greet him.
Mm-hmm.
So 2nd and 19. Huff now is just going to dump it out in the flat, and the pass is going to be caught near the line of scrimmage, and making the catch for the Corsairs and being brought down after a short game. That's number 6, Demario Watson.
So you got plenty of time here on the play clock for the Corsairs, but they gotta read the defense, find out where they're at, and start blocking them, because the defense is coming in and pressure them and holding their ground on this.
Going to be 3rd and 13 at the 32. 4-man rush. Huff looks across the middle, and this one's going to be intercepted as he throws it right to Kassan Dixon, and Dixon, with some running room, is going to end up stepping out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So Huff overthrew the intended receiver, and Dixon back there just playing center field makes the interception, and then a nice return, and the Lobos are in business.
And Gratz was the intended receiver too. He was looking for Gratz, but he overshot him. And number 7 was right there. And it looks like they're going to have a conference. They're talking about something. So let's see what this is, what the call is here.
Clock stops with 2:21 remaining in the first half. We're tied at 7. Huff, who had only thrown 1 interception since becoming the starter in week 5, has thrown 2 here in the first half.
So it looks like there's an inverted whistle at the 48-yard line. So Monterey Peninsula will take over at the 48-yard line.
And the Lobos coaching staff is not real happy about the call, because what they may have done after the interception by Dixon, like you said, somebody may have blown a whistle, which caused the play to be blown dead. So it's a difference of about 35 yards from where the Lobos will start this drive to where Dixon returned it inside the 20.
Yeah, and like you said, the coaching staff is not happy. And so looks like they're getting the kicker loose here for the Lobos. But we'll see if the Corsairs can get the ball back before the end of the first half.
Elmore's still in the game at quarterback with Norty in the backfield. Elmore wants to throw, 4-man rush, wants to air it out. He has a man open, and the catch is made at the 15, 10, 5 touchdown, and that is Karim McCune. So McCune able to get behind the defense, and it was a well-thrown ball by Elmore, so you've got that sudden change situation that coaches talk about all the time, which is what happens right after a turnover. After Huff had thrown the interception on the first play from scrimmage, a 52-yard touchdown pass from Elmore to McCune.
Yeah, and that right there threw the Corsairs off, but Jason White does not look too happy.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So 14-7 our score with 2:13 left in the second quarter, Grant.
Yeah, so I don't know what Max Huff was looking at, but Bryce Grass was open, and Max Huff just overthrew it, and in number 7 for the Lobos. Just pulled him out for the game.
McCune with his 5th touchdown reception. I know in talking with their offensive coordinator, Eric Becker, earlier today, he said, hey, both guys are going to play. And that's exactly what they've done. So on the kickoff, it's going to be returned by the Corsairs from the 10-yard line. Returning the ball for College of the Redwoods, that is Watson. And he's going to return it out to about the 28, so an 18-yard return.
So right here, the Corsairs have got to be smart, because on the plays they had 3 penalties. They had for false starts. 2 of them were false starts, and one of them was a snap infraction. So the Corsairs have got to be smart on the plays, and they have to stop the defense, especially Joseph, from coming into the backfield, getting to Max Huff again.
Very important possession coming up for the CR offense. Corsairs trailing for the first time today, 14-7. 1st and 10 at the 28. Lobos show blitz. They're going to dump it off in the flat, and making the catch over there on the far side of the field, that is Watson. And Watson is going to be brought down as the clock continues to move at about the 35-yard line. So it's a gain of 7 on the play. Hurt will be split to the right. Gratz is going to be slot to the right. Empty backfield now for Huff. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Huff wants to spin it, and he does across the middle. And on 2nd down, the Corsairs are going to pick up the 1st down out to about midfield as the catch was made by Ibagawa.
So the clock is going to stop for just a second, and the Corsairs are hurrying up in the offense.
So the Corsairs in their hurry-up offense, they've got a 1st down at the 48. Huff steps up, looks downfield, and this one is going to be incomplete.
Oh.
Dixon trying to sell it, tried to make a diving catch at about the 32-yard line.
And the Lobos coaches are not happy on the sideline. They're going berserk over there, and the head coach is trying to get them under control. The assistant coaches are going berserk on that play. But it was the right call by the official. He did drop it, so it's the Corsairs get lucky there.
Going to be 2nd and 10. Huff back to pass. 4-man rush. Steps up, looks downfield, and the catch is going to be made. That is Watson, who's then going to be on the receiving end of a big hit at about the 40-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play. The tackle was made by Amir Anderson. It's going to be 3rd and call it 2. Clock continues to move. We're inside of a minute. Huff looking downfield, and he's going to throw this one, and it's going to be intercepted by the Lobos as he throws it right into the arms. And now I think we're going to have a late flag as the interception was made. Looked like by Justier Kaiser, made the interception from his linebacker position as Huff throws his 3rd interception of the half. And then Kaiser with a nice return. And then number 88, Burns, with the late hit, throwing Kaiser out of bounds.
It was a horse collar tackle. It was a horse collar. They called it a horse collar tackle by Burns. And that's going to set up the Lobos in good field position again. So Max Huff, I don't know what is going on with Max Huff, but he's off his game right now.
So the Lobos with the 1st down at the 17-yard line. 42.6 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Lobos 14, Corsairs 7. Elmore still in the game at quarterback. With Nordy in the backfield, Elmore wants to throw. Now steps up, being pressured, avoids one tackle, but then is going to be brought down back at the 28-yard line. Sandusky leading the way defensively and tackling Elmore for a loss as the clock continues to run.
We got a timeout by the Lobos.
Okay, so Monterey Peninsula is going to take a timeout, which gives us an opportunity to remind our listeners that you are listening to KZZHLP 96.7 Eureka. KZZH is Elmore and the Lobos offense. Elmore now will step up, being pressured, and his pass is going to be in and out of the hands of Norty at the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and long coming up with 18.3 seconds to go. Corsairs making some substitutions on defense.
So right here, the defense has got to pressure Elmore because Elmore's going to be looking deep. And so this is where the Corsairs have got to break down the defense and stop them right here. And so the Lobos are trying to break this game wide open.
So it's 3rd and 21 at the 28. Elmore wants to scramble, looks downfield, and the pass is going to be caught making a leaping catch at the 14-yard line as Maldonado, but we do have a flag down at about the 20-yard line as the clock stops with 8.8 seconds left in the first half. The kicker, Rodas Mendoza, his longest field goal of the season is 43 yards.
So what would you think this would be if they decide to go for a field goal here? Would this be about a 45?
It just depends on where they spot the ball. Look, right now it's spotted inside the 15-yard line, but we have a flag down as the officials are conferring with one another. The flag was thrown at about the 20-yard line, and they're going to say it's a holding penalty against the Corsairs. Okay, so they're going to put some more time up on the game clock. See our athletic director, Bob Brown, doing a great job operating the clock. A couple boosts down from us. And I think they're going to put a couple more seconds on the clock. I think they're going to reset it to 11 seconds based on the word that we're getting from down on the field. 11.1 seconds.
So this is not a first down. So it's only a 10-yard from the spot of the foul, or from
if you look at the stick over on the far side of the field, the down marker, we've got Constantino Romero and his all-star chain gang, and right now the chain gang, it says, as
first
far as
down.
the box, it says first down.
So they might have given them a first down. So
the officials are still talking about the situation because the original line of scrimmage was the 17-yard line. That's where they took over.
Monterey.
Okay, Monterey's going to take a timeout. So we're going to keep it right here, which will give us more time to try to figure things out. But right now, it appears that with 11 seconds remaining in the first half, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Lobos at the CR 18-yard line.
have enough time left.
So Elmore's in the game at quarterback with Norty in the backfield. It's going to be 1st and 10, call it the 18, with 11 seconds to go. Norty being pressured, and he's just going to do the smart thing, and he's going to try to throw it away at about the 6-yard line, as he will kind of live to kind of battle another day, and we're now expecting the field goal unit, and that will be the case. So Elmore doing a good job just getting rid of it as he was on the verge of being sacked back at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and that right there was a good pressure by the Corsairs to bring the heat, because they know that if the Lobos hadn't got up to the ball to spike it, that would have been the end of the quarter.
So it's going to be a 35-yard field goal attempt, and this time kicking, it's going to be Luke Silva, number 2. And now we have some movement along the line of scrimmage before the snap. So earlier, it was Rodas Mendoza doing the kicking.
So this is going to go against the Corsairs on the offsides.
Offside, defense, number 95, 5-yard penalty.
So Irby jumps off sides. So the right-footed kicker Silva will now attempt a 30-yard field goal with 5.2 seconds to go. Snap, spot the kick, and it's blocked. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Lobos on what will be the final play of the first half.
And that's a pressure that that's the momentum the Corsairs needed to end the second quarter for this type of a game. And the Lobos, I mean, they battled back and forth on both sides of the ball. The offense started off great, and then all of a sudden, the momentum switched to the Lobos of the defense and the ball handling.
A lot of big plays in all three phases of the game for both teams in the first half as far as offense, defense, and special teams. Grant's going to kind of wander at halftime and visit with a couple people and get some updates on some different things. We've got two very special guests stopping by and joining us at halftime. Athletic Director Bob Brown is going to stop by and visit at halftime, and also baseball player Raul Romero will be visiting with us at halftime. So our score at halftime, a very exciting, entertaining, and eventful first half. It's the Monterey Peninsula Lobos 14, the College of the Redwoods Corsairs 7, and we'll be back with the halftime show right after this timeout. at halftime, and nice job helping everybody out up here in the press box, and good luck this year playing baseball for the Corsairs, and good luck down the road.
Thank you. Let's go, Woods. Let's get a comeback right here.
There you go. And happy holidays to you and your family.
You too.
Okay, Raul Romero, nice enough to come by and join us at halftime as the kick went out of bounds. So the Lobos now have to decide whether the Corsairs will be kicking off again. Your man Seth enjoying a slice of pizza down there. How's the pizza, Seth? Good? Okay, perfect.
Shout out to Dutchie.
Just save me a slice. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Perfect, thank you very much. So the Corsairs now are going to kick off from the 30-yard line, as I am now rejoined by Grant Sams. Have an injury update for you here in a second. So this kick now is going to be taken at the 15, and it's going to be taken by Ryan Howard, and Howard's going to return it across the 30 out to about the 32-yard line, which is where the Lobos will take over to start the second half, leading 14-7. I know you had a chance to wander at halftime. Tell us a little bit about your travels.
Well, I stopped by the Corsairs bench, and unfortunately, Caleb Price is out with a torn MCL. So on that catch that he had going up in the air, he was hobbling off a little bit, and they came to a determination that was his MCL. So he is done for the rest of the game.
So Elmore starts the second half at quarterback, and after kind of directing traffic, the Lobos are just going to keep it on the ground on first down and running straight up the middle and picking up 3 yards on the play. That's Norty. So 14-7 our score. Second half just underway. The weather thus far has been holding. Lobos going from our right to our left. Going to be 2nd and 7, and on 2nd and 7, the pass is going to be caught out in the flat by the tight end, who's going to have enough for a first down. That is Payne, as Payne cuts upfield. He's across the 40 before being shoved out of bounds at the 47-yard line, a gain of 12, and a Lobo first down.
Yeah, so like I said, bad news for the Corsairs. Number 7, Caleb Price, is done for the remainder of the game. At least it was not his ACL. So it was just his MCL.
So a first down at the 47. This time they're going to hand it off to Norty, who tries to spin away from one tackle. Ball ends up coming loose, but it's going to be fallen on by number 57. That is going to be Nick Chichi, who's actually the starting center. So that would have been disastrous for the Lobos.
Yeah, he was right there at the right place to find the ball. As soon as it was on the ground, he fell on top of it. 2nd and 9, spread formation, movement up front. Elmore wants to throw. He's going to air it out. He's looking downfield, and the pass is overthrown. Pass was intended for Julian Bishop, but we do have a flag down at the line of scrimmage. That was 2nd and 8. Clock stops with 13:12 remaining. And the penalty will be against CR. So that will make it 2nd and a long 3. So the Corsairs defense right now has to be smart and not make any penalties on this play. Elmore wants to throw, looks downfield, has a man open, and it's going to be caught, and making the catch is Bishop, who then spins around before finally being brought down inside the 20-yard line. It looked like the offense got away with a push off there. Looked like when he was going for the ball, it looked like he pushed off, and the official didn't see it. And so that's why the Lobos are set up in good field position right now. So the ball will be spotted at the 25.
Going to be 1st and 10 at the 25 for Elmore and the Lobos offense. And they're going to give it to Norty, who's going to run straight up the middle and pick up about 3 yards to the 22-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. Lobos trying to add to their lead. They had a 30-yard field goal blocked at the end of the first half. Elmore now looks over to the sidelines with Norty in the backfield. You've got Fripps to the right with McCune split to the left. Kind of got bracket coverage on him as Elmore steps up. He's being pressured and he is going to be sacked back at the 27-yard line. Number 25, Tice Wiggum with the sack. Good to see Julian enjoying some pizza too. All the guys up here in the booth. Jake, you need to help yourself to some pizza. Jake Matson covering the game for the Times Standard. So if you want to read about So it's going to be 3rd and 11. That's Maldonado in motion to the right. Elmore being pressured. Elmore being chased. Scrambles, cuts back, is still on his feet as he runs through a tackle before finally being brought down at the 10-yard line. So Elmore taking care of business with his legs on 3rd and 11 was able to run through a couple of tackles, run through a tackler, run all the way down to the 9-yard line where it will now be 1st and goal. So a 23-yard run by Elmore.
Yeah, the defense was right there, but Elmore saw the open hole and he ran through it.
Now on a fly sweep, they're going to hand the ball off to Bishop, and Bishop's going to cut upfield, and he's going to be brought down at about the 5-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 5. Jake does a nice job covering high school and college sports for the Times Standard. Want to welcome him to the North Coast. And like I said, at the far end there, Jake, if you want to get yourself a slice of pizza, go down there, make yourself at home. Julian can always show you where the pizza is. He knows where it is. Julian always knows where the pizza is, where the donuts are. If you go all the way to, yeah, Julian's going to help them out. So now Elmore is going to throw it, and he's going to complete it to the tight end. We've got a flag down. Faulkner was putting pressure on Elmore, who is down back at the 20-yard line. He's very slow in getting to his feet. And we'll see what the penalty is as the clock stops with 10:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
This might be a late hit on
Roughing the passer. It's going to be a late hit, roughing the passer against Faulkner. And the crowd here at the Redwood Bowl is not very happy. The referee today is James Johnson. He's the one that threw the flag.
Yeah.
The umpire is Steve Brown. The headlinesman Troy Welch. The line judge Rich Robles. The side judge is Keaton Cahill. The field judge is Brad Steinman, and the back judge is Craig Hanna. So now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Lobos at the 1-yard line. And Elmore is now under center. He's going to give it to Norty, and Norty is going to try to plow forward before being pushed back, and he is going to be stopped just short of the goal line.
This game is getting a little bit chippy between both teams here in the start the second half. And the Corsairs, I don't know what's going on with their defense, but they're not breaking down the coverage. They're letting the offense just run right over them.
But so much of this has also had to do with field position.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Elmore under center with the back split behind him. They're going to give it to the second man through. That is Norty. And Norty is going to struggle and try to get into the end zone, but no signal yet as we have some extracurricular activities taking place down there along the line of scrimmage. And it appears that it's going to be 3rd and goal So the CR defense trying to come up with another big goal line stand, like they did early in the game when Monterey Peninsula, after a long punt return by Maldonado, had the ball inside the 5. Now Elmore's going to keep it on a quarterback sneak, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. So offensive coordinator Eric Becker deciding that, you know what, let's don't take time for an exchange. Let's just leave it in the hands of our quarterback Elmore, who's a very good athlete. And Elmore scores on a quarterback sneak to make it a 2-possession game, Grant.
Yeah, the defense, the defense of the Corsairs, I don't know what happened, but as soon as Elmore saw the lane on the right side, he took off, and that's what helped the Lobos to get in good field position. Not only that, but the Corsairs got called for roughing the passer, and so finally the Lobos make it into the end zone by a quarterback sneak, and so they have broken this game open, trying to make this a 2-point lead or score 2-touchdown lead.
8 plays, 68 yards, the numbers on that scoring drive. Elmore scores on a 1-yard run.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
That is his 4th touchdown of the season. We've got a delay of game penalty against the Lobos. It is going to be Rodas Mendoza attempting the extra point, and it will be a 25-yard extra point attempt. High snap, kick is going to be up, but we've got a flag down before the kick. Clock stops with 9:07 remaining here in the 3rd period. Okay, now the Corsairs are just going to give that 5 yards back because it's going to be an offsides penalty against CR, which will move the ball to the 3-yard line, where it will now be a 20-yard PAT attempt. By Rodas Mendoza. So we'll try it again. Another high snap. The kick this time is up, and it is good. So Rodas Mendoza, who stares over at the CR sidelines, punches it through. And that makes the score 21-7. And Jason White now out on the field talking things over with the referee James Johnson. So the numbers on that scoring drive: 8 plays, 68 yards. Elmore scores on a 1-yard run, his 4th touchdown of the season. Extra point is good. Lobos now lead the Corsairs 21-7 as Monterey Peninsula has now scored 21 unanswered points.
His case with the field judge.
But it could be any number of things. He could also be talking about the roughing the passer penalty against Faulkner, which was a big penalty. As the kick now is going to be taken from inside the 5 by Pretty. Pretty tries to find some running room, and Pretty, just a really good athlete, is across the 20, is across the 25, and out to about the 27-yard line, where the CR offense will take over after that 22-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, so the Corsairs are going to come out with their first possession in the second half and see if they can try and come back. And the first meeting that these two teams had, this is how it was all through the game. But the Corsairs ended up winning by, 6-7 points?
It was a back and forth game. The final score was CR ended up beating Monterey Peninsula 34-28. Monterey Peninsula led 21-20 at the end of the first quarter. And Huff wants to throw it, and he's going to dump it out in the flat. Corsairs trying to make some plays in space right now. as the pass is going to be caught by Watson, who does a nice job of breaking a tackle, and he's going to pick up enough for a first down. So CR, with what they like to do offensively, with kind of this spread look, which is what they're going with right now, they really want to kind of try to find some rhythm, find some tempo offensively on what is probably their offense's most important possession of the game. This time it's going to be an inside handoff to Ibargouan, and he's going to run straight up the middle to about the 43-yard line, a gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, and so they got to keep it on the ground. So I think Coach White is trying to get their momentum together back. They're trying to get their heads focused on this game and trying to come back and help their team out.
Here comes the blitz now. Huff back to pass, looks downfield, has a man open, and the pass is going to be caught by Hurt, who's going to be shoved out of bounds in Lobo territory at the 37-yard line. So a gain of 20 yards and another first down.
And Hurt will hurt you with that play. Hurt will stop a little bit and then go, and he'll be in the backfield. And so the offense is now having a momentum going the other way.
Corsairs doing a good job. Huff doing a nice job recognizing the blitz, and now they're just going to keep it on the ground and running straight up the middle. That's Ibargouan. Now we got a flag down in the secondary. No gain on the play, but we do have a penalty flag down. We definitely want to welcome all of our listeners on the radio, on the internet, and people also watching the live stream. Officials now conferring with one another.
We got 2 flags that look like they came both from the backfield.
Okay, dead ball, personal foul against the Lobos. And that is going to move the football to the 21-yard line. I want to say hi to the one and only Mad Dog, John Horner, who's over there with Coach Clifton in Wairika. Want to wish the Warriors good luck. Warriors are playing in the championship game today in the Wairika tournament, that very prestigious boys and girls basketball tournament. And this time they're going to keep it on the ground, and they give it to Ibargouan, and he's going to be brought down after a short gain as he's inside the 20. Mad Dog checking in. Text line's always open, 707-616-3799. If you're out there either listening to our broadcast or watching it and listening to the radio feed, don't hesitate. Go ahead and give us a text. Go ahead and send us a text message. So it's going to be 2nd and 8. Here comes the blitz. They give it to Ibargouan, who tries to find some running room. He bounces off the tackle, and then he's going to be brought down at the 16-yard line. So he picks up a couple of yards on the play. So coming up for the Corsairs, it's going to be 3rd and call it 5. So if you want to watch the video stream, and Seth Simmons doing a great job with the stream, you can just go to YouTube, put in CR Football to watch the stream, and then we encourage you to also enjoy the audio. Here comes the blitz now. Huff's looking across the middle, and the pass is going to be thrown behind the intended receiver. The pass was intended for Watson, but it was thrown behind him as Huff was being pressured by inside linebacker Jacob Lambeth.
So the Corsairs right now are looking to get another first down to be inside, to get in the red zone. And so after the Lobos move the ball down the field to score, the Corsairs are looking to come back and close the gap on the score.
4 down territory. Huff back to pass, and Huff pressured, and the pass is going to be underthrown. So the Corsairs end up getting stopped on downs as the Lobos defense celebrates as they bend but don't break, and they're going to turn the ball back over to their offense.
What's the saying at Eureka High School? All gas, no brakes. And that's what the Lobos showed right there. They put on all gas and no brakes to sack Max Huff again for the 5th time in this game.
So the Lobos will get the ball back at their own 17-yard line, leading 21-7 with 6:07 remaining in the third quarter. Elmore quarterback. Skylar Climate got the start, but it's basically been all Elmore since then, and his pass is going to be complete out in the flat and making the catch and then being brought down after a short gain. That's number 23. That's Isaiah Thornton. Gain of 3 on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 7. So the Corsairs definitely need either a stop or a turnover right now as they trail by a score of 21-7. Second down play, and they give it to Norty. And he is going to be brought down after about a 3-yard gain. Norty's last name is spelled like Del Norte, so I've kind of had to train myself instead of saying Norte as in Del Norte. He pronounces his last name Norty. So it's going to be 3rd and 3. Elmore rolls out to his right, being pressured, steps up, looks downfield, and throws this one behind the intended receiver. That's the backup tight end, Ricardo Macon. So the CR defense steps up, and it's going to be a 3-and-out situation. And the Corsairs are going to get the ball back as the clock stops with 4:58 remaining in the third quarter.
So the Corsairs on defense has stopped the Lobos again, their momentum to try to get the ball back.
High snap. Punter gets the ball away. That's Silva. It's going to be fielded as Pretty calls for a fair catch at the 43-yard line. So a 43-yard punt. Corsairs called for a fair catch. They're going to have a first down at their own 33-yard line. Moving from our left to our right. Julie continues to enjoy that pizza, that delicious pizza. Jake also got busy. I just hope you guys might have saved a slice or two for me. There's Huff back to pass. He sets up, has time, looks downfield, and the pass is almost caught. That was almost a great catch by Burns, who was able to get a hand on it. At about the 35-yard line, Burns had a step on the defender, but he was unable to haul it in. So it will be 2nd and 10. 4:46 remaining in the third quarter. So are we going to be getting some rain later on this afternoon, Grant?
Yeah, so the nearest rain is 22 miles away.
Okay.
So the rain is coming.
The rain is on its way. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Huff this time just going to dump it out in the flat and making the catch and picking up enough for the Corsairs to get a first down across the 40 out to about the 46-yard line.
So I think this is the momentum that Jason White, Coach White, wants for his team, is to get the ball, pass it, run it. That way they can come back and get down into the red zone and get a score.
That was Burns with the catch, a gain of 13 and a first down as they're going to keep it on the ground. And the ball carrier for the Corsairs is across midfield, as that's Ibaragwan, and he runs through a couple tackles and picks up 12 yards and another first down.
So their ground game is working. Their ground game is the one that's working really well for them. Max Huff has thrown 3 interceptions this game, but their ground game seems to be going through the middle, going out on the outside.
And they're going to try it again on the ground, and this time they give it off to Ibangwan. This time he's going to be brought down after a short gain of just a couple of yards to the 37-yard line, or to the 39-yard line. They're actually going to spot it at the 38. So a gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7 at the 38.
I think they heard me on that play.
Corsairs, yes. The Monterey defense heard you now. It's Huff back to pass, being pressured, sets up, looks to his left, and coming back, Burns tries to come back and makes a diving catch, and they're going to say that it's going to be incomplete. That Burns ended up short hopping it over there at the 28-yard line. The officials getting some help from the Monterey Peninsula bench.
It looked like a clean pass, but a little bit short. Now, if Burns would have turned a little bit sooner to come back to that ball, I believe he would have caught that.
Well, and Burns signaling to the CR bench that, hey, it was a catch. I made the catch, but unfortunately there's no replay at this level. So it's 3rd and 7. Huff back to pass. They want to set up a middle screen. They do. They dump it off to Ibangawon, and he is going to be brought down immediately on a nice defensive play by Rossi Oturi. As Oturi doing a great job staying home from that linebacker position, making a nice open field tackle. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So it looks like they're going to stay.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely 4-down territory. When you talk about the situation in the Corsairs, now there's going to be a timeout on the field, and the Lobos are going to take a timeout. So a very, very important play. We've had a lot of big plays, but this is probably one of the biggest plays coming up for both teams. accesshumboldt.net or by calling 707-443-9352. 4th and 7 for Huff in the offense. He looks downfield, and the pass is overthrown. Huff was being pressured. He stepped up, and his pass downfield was intended for Gratz, and it was overthrown. So for the second time here in the second half, the Lobos stopped the Corsairs offense on downs.
Yeah, and Max Huff tried to get out of the pocket a little bit sooner, but he had someone right behind him, and then he stopped, and he saw another person in front of him. That's why he overthrew it. So Max Huff, anywhere he went, he would have been dropped.
So it's a 1st down for the Lobos at their own 38-yard line with 2:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter. That's Elmore. Now they're going to fake a trick play. Elmore wants to throw it downfield. He's got a man wide open, and the pass is complete to the big tight end, Payne, who picks up enough for a 1st down before stepping out of bounds at the 47-yard line. But we do have a flag down here on the near side of the field at about the 45-yard line, and they're going to say it's an ineligible receiver downfield against the Lobos. So it was a well-designed play by the Lobos as they picked up good yardage on that play, but unfortunately, they had an ineligible receiver downfield.
Are they getting McCoon on that play?
I don't think they could give it to McCoon because McCoon's the wide receiver here on this side. The flag was thrown over here, but it must have been one of the linemen.
The lineman downfield.
So it's going to be 1st and 15. That's Maldonado in motion. They give it to him on a fly sweep, and he's going to be upended after a short gain, a gain of a couple of yards, as he's tackled over there on the far side of the field at about the 35-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 13. That's McCune split to the left. Slot to the left is Howard. Norty in the backfield. Spread formation. Skylar Klimek started at quarterback, but it's basically been Elmore the rest of the way. And Elmore wants to air it out as he looks downfield, and the pass is caught, making a nice catch in stride is Howard. before being brought down at the 22-yard line on a well-thrown ball. That was Faulkner making the tackle. That was a 32-yard pass. Now McCune is shaken up on the play. He's actually lying down. Now he's going to roll over on his back near the CR sidelines, and it looks like he might have a cramp as they're kind of stretching him out. Clock stops with 2:02 to go.
It looks like that's number 88, Victor Villa Ferretti. Or is that...
So the clock stops with 2:02 left in the third quarter. If it's McCune, you can tell by his shoes.
It's either 88 or 86. I saw an 8.
But did you see 2 8s?
Yeah. It looked like 2 8s to me. We'll double check here, but it looks like 88.
So we're going to just keep it right here with 2:02 left in the third quarter. Lobos now with all the momentum. Keep in mind these two teams played each other back on Saturday, September 24th, in a game that was won by CR over MPC, 34-28. MPC led 21-20 at the end of the first quarter, and then CR took the lead for good in the third quarter and then held on to win 34-28.
No, you're right. It's McCune.
So CR was in a situation where in the first quarter of that game, CR got an offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and a special teams touchdown, which is something that doesn't happen very often in a game. But in this case, it happened in the first quarter of that game as McCune now walking off the field under his own power, as he may have ended up just kind of cramping up on the play as he's kind of walking gingerly to the Lobos sideline. So he now will be replaced by number 84. That's freshman Jacoby Faulkner, who will now be split to the left.
And at that game that I did on the radio, man, I tell you what, I didn't know if College of Redwoods was going to win that game or not because, like you said, the Lobos had a 21-20 lead at halftime. 1st and
10 at the 22. Elmore rolls to his right, keeps it. Now he's going to cut back before stepping out of bounds inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Elmore's one of those guys who can make plays with his legs.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talk about the quarterbacks can throw and they can run. And Elmore is one of them.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6 at the 19-yard line. Now they've got a new running back in the game. That's number 21. That's Devin Brad who's going to get the carry. And Brad's going to run straight up the middle. And he is going to be brought down very close to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Lobos offense. As we approach the 1-minute mark, now we have some movement up front. CR may have jumped off sides as the pass downfield is incomplete. It was intended for Bishop, but we've got a flag down here on the near side of the field as one of the CR players may have jumped off sides.
Yeah, again, the penalties are shooting the Corsairs in the foot.
And you're exactly right, Grant. That's another example of that. So instead of it being a 4th down situation, it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Lobos offense. Lobos lead 21-7. 61 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Lobos have scored 21 unanswered points as head coach and offensive coordinator Jason White discusses the situation with his offensive unit, that's been sputtering of late. Norty in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. Norty runs through a tackle. He's going to get a first down as he's inside the 10 to about the 9.
Well, on that penalty, the official said that it was good. That offsides penalty gave them a first down, so it's going to bring up second down.
Norty, a sophomore, 5'7", 224. From Paso Robles, out of Paso Robles High School. Kind of has that fire hydrant look. And he is definitely a load. Norty's the second leading rusher, and Elmore now running for his life is going to scramble. He's at the 5, and he's into the end zone. So Elmore doing a great job of extending the play with his legs. After being under a lot of pressure, was able to get outside the containment and into the end zone for the touchdown on a 9-yard run with 16.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And like you said, Tag, that right there shows to tell you that the quarterback not only can throw the ball, but he can use his legs.
So Elmore, with his second touchdown in the quarter, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. So after stopping the Corsairs on downs, as the extra point is up, and it is good. So the Lobos now have scored 28 unanswered points. Numbers on that scoring drive, 6 plays, 62 yards. The big play was that pass from Elmore to Bishop for 37 yards, and then Elmore gets it done with his legs. And the Corsairs now really up against it as they trail 28-7 with 16.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Corsairs scored on their second possession of the game. CR received the opening kickoff, and then it was 3 and out, and then they did a great job of stopping Monterey Peninsula on downs. And then the Corsairs put together the most impressive scoring drive of the game, 19 plays, 96 yards, after the Lobos failed on a pass when they faked the field goal on 4th down. Rodez Mendoza with the kick, and it's going to be taken by Pretty at the 2. He's across the 10, he's across the 15, and he's going to get tripped up right there at the 15-yard line. So good coverage by the Lobos. So CR once again, it's kind of been a field position game today because the Lobos definitely have been able to get the better of the Corsairs when you're talking about field position. Yeah. And this is just another example of that.
Yeah, and the Lobos defense has been really on top of Max Huff, especially Joseph Finley. And we'll see right here with 11 seconds of play in the third quarter. We'll see if the Corsairs can move that ball up on the other side of the 50.
Okay, first down at the 15-yard line. Huff back to pass, steps up, just going to dump it off, as he's just going to dump it off to Ibanguan, and he's across the 20 and out to about the 24-yard line on what will probably be the final play of the third quarter. So that is it. So the third quarter's history. We're going to take a quick break in the action at the end of 3 quarters. It's the Monterey Peninsula College Lobos 28, the College of the Redwoods Corsairs 7, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this short break. fourth quarter. It's going to be second and short for the Corsairs, and this time on a fly sweep, they're going to hand the ball off to Hurt, and Hurt is actually going to be tackled for a loss back at the 21-yard line. So the Corsairs have had some success moving the football between the 20s, but the Lobos defense, especially in the last couple of quarters, has done a really nice job of bending but not breaking. So the Corsairs trying to come up with that big play offensively. It's 3rd and 4. Huff wants to throw. His pass is complete out in the flat, and making the catch is Hurt, and then he is brought down immediately on a big hit by sophomore defensive back Amir Anderson. So now it's decision time, and it appears that the Corsairs here early in the fourth quarter, despite having the ball deep in their own territory at the 24-yard line, Coach White, with that sense of urgency, feels as if it's going to be 4-down territory for the Corsairs, and they're going to hand the ball off, and the running back is Ibongawan, and depending on the spot, he does pick up enough for a first down, but we do have a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Is this going to be a face mask?
You know, and that's a good observation, Grant, because it appeared that when freshman running back Emmanuel Ibongawan ended up running up the field, it appeared like his head moved as if somebody may have grabbed his face mask, and I think that's going to be the call.
Yeah, that's what the call was, and both the umpire and the side judge both had the same call, so that's a good start for the Corsairs to move the ball up the field on that play.
Yeah, they were going to pick up a first down no matter what, but then add 15 yards to that, and they give it to Ibongawan, who's going to try to get to the outside, and he's across the 45 out to about the 47-yard line before being brought down by number 42. That's Guy Bessie, one of the leaders of this defense. Ball's going to be spotted at the 48. So a gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3. A little more than 13 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Huff back to pass, being pressured. There's a flag down as the pass is complete to Gratz, who makes a diving catch at the 46-yard line, which is good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 6, but we do have a flag down on the far side of the field, as Huff took a big hit.
Is this going to be holding, or is this going to be illegal use of hands to the face?
The referee is talking with the Monterey Peninsula coaching staff. It's James Johnson, the referee, communicating. Okay, it's a procedure penalty against CR. That's why he was talking with head coach Ronnie Palmer. The penalty is going to be accepted. So a procedure penalty against the Corsairs. Ball is now spotted at the 43. 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd and 8. Ibongawan in the backfield. Huff back to pass, steps up, being pressured, and he just is able to get rid of it as he just kind of throws it away in the direction of Ibongawan, as once again he was being pressured by number 95, Joseph Finley.
I was just about to say, guess who it was? Guess who's knocking on the door again? Joseph Finley. The one who's been on Max Huff the whole entire game, has dropped him back, has sacked him 5 times this game.
Finley, the left defensive end, just kind of pins his ears back, and that's what he's going to do right here. It's going to be 3rd and 8, Huff back to pass, and the pass is underthrown. It was intended over there on the far side of the field. Pass was intended for Hurt, but the timing was off a little bit on the play. So that will make it another 4th down situation for the CR offense.
So 4th down territory here for the Corsairs. They got a big decision here to make by Jason White.
I don't think it's really, at this point in time, I don't think there's really a decision.
No, I mean they got to go for it. They're down
exactly.
20. They're down 21, so they got to find something.
It's 4th and 7, 4-man rush. Huff steps up, dumps it off to Ibanawan, who's going to pick up enough for a first down as he's in the Lobo territory to the 46-yard line as Coach White wants his team to hurry up. They need to have that sense of urgency with the clock ticking here early in the fourth quarter and CR trailing MPC by 21 points.
Yeah, and that's a great move by Ibanawan to get in the backfield.
Now the ball is loose, and it's going to be recovered by number 34. That is Adam Rostrand. So a turnover by the Corsairs.
So the Corsairs tried a statue play, the same play that they did when they first met with these guys, and either Max Huff couldn't find the hands or somebody was right there to knock the ball away, or there's a miscommunication for the running back.
So a turnover by CR. Lobos with the ball at the CR 49, leading 28-7. Now Maldonado thought about going in motion. Macon goes in motion. They've got trips to the right. They're going to give it to Norty, and he is going to kind of plow forward for a couple yards to the 46-yard line. So a gain of 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Lobos now are just going to take their time. They're going to pay close attention. We'll see how close of attention they pay to the play clock, which is something that you can see here at the Redwood Bowl. It's at 19 seconds. And you would think the Lobos would take more time off the clock. They snapped that one with 14 seconds as Elmore now will scramble. He's going to dive forward to about the 43-yard line where he will be 4 yards short of a first down. It's a gain of 3 on the play. Play clock is a 35-second play clock. Clock continues to move, 11:20 remaining. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
Crowd here is trying to pump up the CR team.
Exactly. The Corsair faithful trying to Norty in motion to the run. Elmore is going to just kind of keep it on a quarterback draw. He had the first down, then cut back. Then he's going to come back and pick it up again. And Elmore lets us know that he just picked up a first down.
Yeah, using his feet again there and making the Corsairs pay, not paying attention on that play, and using his feet to move the ball to get the first down for the Lobos again.
So when the two teams played earlier this season, Elmore was the starting quarterback, but he was knocked out of the game with a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had to miss a couple of games.
Yep. And then you had Lee, who came in and was the quarterback for the rest of the game for that time.
So it's a first down at the 38. They're going to give it to Norty, who breaks one tackle, and Norty is going to do a nice job of just getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Because in the first game between the two teams, all 3 quarterbacks that played for Monterey Peninsula threw touchdown passes. That would be Elmore, who was the starter. Kai Lee replaced him. And then after that, the third-string quarterback, who actually got his first start of the season today, Skylar Klimek, threw a touchdown late in the fourth quarter of that game. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 as the clock continues to move. Elmore this time is going to throw it behind the intended receiver, which is Thornton. And that will help out CR because that will stop the clock with 9:34 remaining.
That was a really rush. I didn't see anybody rush him, but he threw that pass hard. So
it's 3rd and 10 at the 38. Got some movement up front. One of the CR players may have jumped off sides. That might have been Sandusky, who was lined up as the left defensive end.
So we got one flag on the white side and one flag on the red side. So they're gonna say false start against the Lobos.
So Sandusky was drawn offside, so the penalty will be against the Lobos, Grant. Tag Watherspoon along with Grant Sams. 9:34 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's going to be third and here comes the blitz on 3rd and 15. Elmore with time, drops back to pass, and he completes it over there on the far side of the field, and making a diving catch and getting back to the original line of scrimmage is Thornton. Now they're going to say the pass was incomplete as it was short hop by Thornton. So the clock stops with 9:27 to go, and it's going to be 4th and 15. Corsairs could use a big play with their special teams, and Pretty, who was an all-conference kickoff returner, in addition to being an all-conference defensive back, is back inside his own 10. Now they're going to fake it, and it's a direct snap to Norty. Norty's inside the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown Lobos. So the Lobos on 4th and 15 fake the punt, direct snap to the personal protector, which would be Norty, who had a wall of blockers on the right side, and he runs into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, and the Corsairs had no idea. Everybody thought it was going to be a punt, but Norty had the ball in his hand, and nobody was around him to tackle him before he got in the end zone. Smart play, good play by the Lobos.
So Norty scores with 9:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Rodas Mendoza's extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So the Lobos now have scored 35 unanswered points. This time it's a 9-play, 51-yard drive. Norte with a 43-yard run. So Elmore has thrown 2 touchdown passes. He's run for 2 touchdowns. And Norte just scored his 3rd touchdown of the season, Grant.
That's crazy. So the Corsairs have to find something here to get the momentum going. And 9:18 left to play in the game. That's not a lot of that's some time, but they got to find a way to stop the defense from getting to Max Huff. They got to get to where they can score.
And you can just tell on the CR sidelines, very demoralized right now, just based on the fact that all you have to do is look at the scoreboard, and they trail 35-7 with 9:18 left in the fourth quarter after the Lobos facing a 4th and 15 situation. Called for a fake punt, and Norty returns it, runs it 43 yards for a touchdown. As Pretty's going to try to get to the outside, he does, eludes a couple of tackles, and he's across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. So the CR offense, that head coach and offensive coordinator Jason White is going to try to jumpstart right now. Down by 4 scores, 35-7, with 9:06 remaining in the fourth quarter.
So it looks like we may have a turnover. The referees are discussing. They may. I don't know what they're discussing.
Okay, we'll just wait and see what happens as far as any announcement they make. Okay, that might be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty on the return. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be offsides against the kicking team. So CR is going to have the Lobos kick off again. So that was the penalty. Kind of a late flag. You see it over there now at about the 33-yard line. I think everybody was a little bit confused, including us, because we didn't pick up on where the flag was until just now.
Yeah, because the Lobos were saying they had the ball, and then I saw the officials get together and they were discussing something. So now I saw the flag.
Yeah, and then Coach White was getting his offensive unit ready to go out onto the field.
Yeah, so that will put the Lobos to kick again. Took 12 seconds off the clock.
Corsairs hosting a bowl game for the first time since 1995.
Year I was born.
Yes, there you go. Make a note of that one.
Yeah, that's the year that the year I was born was 1995, 27 years ago.
So this is going to be kind of a line drive kick that's going to be taken by Pretty at the 15, and now they're going to say that his knee was down. So it just goes from bad to worse for the Corsairs. As the line judge, Rich Robles felt that Pretty, when he caught that kick, went down to a knee, and his knee was on the ground when he received that kickoff.
Well, Steve Johnson was the one that blew the whistle, and it looked like they conferred with each other, but Steve Johnson was the one that came in, blew his whistle, and said that his knee was down. So it looked like the line judge gave him the
Robles made the call here on this side of the field. His Huff back to pass, looks across the middle, and it's going to be complete. And making a diving catch at the 26-yard line. That was number 10, Nathan Lopez, making the catch. And that is good enough for a first down.
So you're right. That was the line judge on that one. I thought it was the referee.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Corsairs, moving from our right to our left. As Huff is going to step up, looks downfield, has a man open, and the pass is going to be caught by Hurt, who's going to step out of bounds at the 41-yard line as he picks up 15 yards and a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Corsairs offense. Huff back to pass, steps up, looks downfield, thought about running it, but instead he's going to just dump it off out in the flat, and making the catch for the Corsairs and being brought down at about the 45-yard line is Watson. So Watson picks up 4 on the play. Tell the Lobos just kind of playing prevent defense right now. Their head coach, Ronnie Palmer. Also their defensive coordinator. He was a 4-year starter at linebacker at Arizona. As Huff down wants to air it out, and the pass downfield is going to be incomplete. There was some contact at about the 20-yard line. Pass was intended for Hurt. Coverage on the play by Anderson. And there's a flag down at about the 20-yard line. As Hurt, in an effort to kind of create some separation, kind of pulled a page out of Michael Irvin's playbook and kind of pushed Anderson. And I think that's what the official saw. At least that's what I saw. Hey, we got some moisture up here. We're going to crack the window there. Good job, Julian. Nate Dogg looking good back there at the studio, doing an outstanding job. Kind of a team effort here with what we're doing today. Okay, so it's going to be offensive pass interference against the Corsairs, led by our fearless leader, Matt Knight, who I think is on assignment down in Southern Humboldt this afternoon. He's going to be stopping by later on. Had a nice visit with Matt yesterday. He's been great as far as communicating with everyone, just making sure we're all on the same page with Bob Brown and Tino Romero and Megan Vallant, and then everybody at KHHZ and everybody up here in the booth. So it's going to be 2nd and 20. Empty backfield, 3-man rush. Huff now will roll to his right. He looks downfield, and the pass is going to be caught. And the receiver's going to take a couple of big hits. But he ends up holding on to the football. I'm really having trouble picking up the numbers as it gets a little bit darker here.
Amir Anderson was on that hard hit, that second hit.
Burns made the catch, so it was Burns who made the catch. Burns on the play, picks up 4 yards. As Huff now back to pass, is going to step up. He's going to just kind of float it downfield, and the pass is going to be caught. And that's Gratz who makes the catch at the 48-yard line, but we've got a late flag, which will stop the clock with 7 minutes remaining. Our score is 35-7. So we're going to wait for an explanation from down on the field. Okay, it's a personal foul, face mask penalty against the Lobos. And that will give the Corsairs a first down. So the Corsairs at this point in time where they will take anything they can get. Julian doing a nice job here, kind of wiping off the windows. I know when I got here today, they had the heater going. The windows were all frosted up. Guys are doing a great job with Seth and Julian. Trying to make sure everything's taken care of with the video and the audio. And we're just trying to stay out of the way, right, Grant?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 38. Huff wants to throw. He's going to dump it out in the flat. And the pass is going to be caught. And making the catch for the Corsairs is Hurt. Actually, it's going to be Watson making the catch, and he's going to be brought down after a short gain, a gain of just 3 on the play.
Coach Hook is doing a good job on the PA announcing, too.
He's doing an outstanding job, and you guys did a nice job this year working together during the regular season doing games. Trips to the left. This time they're going to complete it out in the flat, and it's going to be Watson again who's going to be brought down immediately on a nice open field tackle by number 29. That's Andrew Speech.
So the Corsairs trying to find that momentum with under 6 minutes to play in the game. They're trying to find some way to get the momentum to come back in this game, at least break down the score a little bit, being down by 28 points.
It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the CR offense. Empty backfield for Huff. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Huff back to pass, steps up, dumps it off, and the pass is going to be caught. And making the catch for the Corsairs, that's Lopez, number 10, and Lopez bounces off a tackle before being brought down at the 9-yard line, and that will be good enough for a first down, a gain of 24 yards and a first down.
And it looks like Lobos are going to take another
Okay, the
timeout.
Lobos are going to call a timeout, so we're going to just keep it right here with 5:23 remaining in the 4th quarter. Was his first year as an assistant coach at CR. And he was also on the coaching staff in '95, which was the last time that CR hosted a bowl game, which was when they ended up playing to a tie with San Jose City College 2020 as Huff now is going to be sacked back at the 13-yard line. And leading the way defensively, once again, it's number 44, Jacob Lambeth, along with number 33, DeAndre Gomez. So it will be 2nd and goal, just under 5 minutes to go. Once again, an empty backfield. Huff back to pass, looks across the middle, and the pass is going to be complete. And I believe that was Lopez who made the catch, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. So the Corsairs score for the first time since late in the first quarter, when they scored with 1:50 remaining in the first quarter. They score now with 4:51. So a 9-yard pass. Huff to Lopez, and now they're going to go for the extra point, and the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So the extra point is good by Holler. So with 4:51 remaining in the fourth quarter, it's Monterey Peninsula 35, College of the Redwoods 14.
I think right here they should try for an onside. Well, I mean, I don't know if they will go for an onside kick right here, but sooner or later they're going to have to try for an onside kick and try to get the ball back, so that way they can get the momentum to carry them through the rest of the game. Because with 4:51 remaining in the game, all the Lobos have to do is just hang on to the ball, and hopefully the Corsairs defense can stop them to make it go 3 and out and get the ball back that way.
I'm going to bet the ranch, the house, the farm, whatever I have to my name, that CR is going to attempt an onside kick right now. Grant, I think that's what they're doing, because they're going to try to. Because you got the hands team out there.
There
There's a loose ball, and
loose
it's
ball.
loose.
And
the
of
ball
course,
is still loose at about the 44-yard line. It's going to be recovered by the Corsairs. Looks like that might. Now you got a couple of flags down because we've got some extracurricular activities. It was a great onside kick because it took a couple of big bounces, bounced off of a couple of Monterey Peninsula players, but then it was recovered by CR. But we do have some penalty flags down, but I think it might be after the play.
So is that going to move the ball back for the Corsairs, or is it going to be offsetting?
We'll just have to wait and see. That was Lopez's second touchdown of the season. But I think it's going to be CR football. I think that's the one thing that we can say.
Yeah, it'll be CR football, but we're waiting to see if it's going to be offsetting. Because there's one penalty about the 34-yard line and another penalty about the 44-yard line.
Sportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 18. Kicking team recovered a football, first down.
Okay, so unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against CR. It's against number 18, Dominic Thomas. So it's a 15-yard penalty, which will move the ball back to the 41-yard line. So the numbers on that last scoring drive, 8 plays, 84 yards. And CR will get the ball back, trailing 31-14. First down at the 41, 4-man rush. Huff being pressured, rolls away from the rush, will scramble. Now he's going to cut back, and he's going to be brought down at the 46-yard line, which is a gain of 13 yards and a first down. I thought for a split second that Huff might just step out of bounds to stop the clock, but he decided to try to get some extra yards.
Smart play by Huff to bring it down, because he was under a lot of heavy pressure.
First down at the 46, Huff wants to throw. The pass is complete out in the flat at about the 40-yard line, and cutting up field is Hurt, and Hurt is finally going to be tripped up at the 28-yard line, which will be good enough for 18 yards and another first down. So CR recovers the onside kick. Now we have a Monterey Peninsula player shaken up on the play. Clock stops with 4:19 remaining. It's number 1. That's Cameron Bochanek. 6'3", 200-pound sophomore defensive back from Monterey, out of Monterey High School. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 28. And on first down, Huff back the throw, looks downfield, and this one was almost picked off. We've got a late flag. Pass was almost intercepted by DeLeon. But there's a flag down near the 20-yard line. Clock stops with 4:09 to play. CR player shaken up on the play. Okay, it's going to be a pass interference call against the Lobos. Carlos Duenas kind of hobbling off the field under his own power. Okay, so a pass interference penalty against the Lobos is going to move the ball to the 16-yard line. Where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the CR offense. Empty backfield, trips to the left, twins to the right. Huff's just going to dump it off, and he does to Hurt, who makes the catch, and then Hurt is going to be brought down. We got a couple of flags down. Might have another penalty against the Lobos. This one might be on number 32, Jose De Leon. Hurt ended up making the catch and picking up a couple yards on the play, and then being on the receiving end of a hard tackle at about the 15-yard line. Okay, it's going to be a face mask penalty against the Lobos and against De Leon. So the Lobos starting to kind of come unraveled a little bit, and CR trying to take full advantage of that. But they're really up against it because the clock is literally ticking not only on the game but on their season, with only 4:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. So it's going to be 1st and goal. Low snap. Huff picks it up, scrambles to his left, looks downfield, and the pass is complete in the end zone for a touchdown. But we do have a flag down. It was Burns who made the catch, but this one, unfortunately, is coming back because of a holding call against CR. Much to the dismay of the CR offense and the fans here at the Redwood Bowl. So take the points off the board. So the holding penalty is going to move the ball back to the 17, where it will be 1st and goal at the 17. That's Burns split to the left. Huff now is going to just keep it on a quarterback draw. He's inside the 15, inside the 10, and he's going to be brought down at about the 9-yard line. So Huff picks up 8 yards on the play.
We'll bring up 2nd and goal for Sayers.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal. Huff. Pass now is going to be thrown behind the intended receiver.
Pass intended for number 6, Demario Watson.
Pass was intended for Watson.
This is where the Corsairs just need to settle down a little bit, compose themselves, and make smart plays.
Clock stops, 3:23 to go. Once again, an empty backfield with trips to the left and twins to the right. Huff looks over the defense, just a 3-man rush. He steps up, dumps it out in the flat to Watson, who's going to try to get to the edge and dive for the pylon, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
Number 6, Demario Watson.
So Watson scores on a 9-yard touchdown pass, so stranger things have happened. That makes the score 35-20. So Huff, with 2 9-yard touchdown passes, one to Lopez, this one to Watson, and the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So with 3:17 remaining in the fourth quarter, it's 35-21. Lobos leading the Corsairs. 6 plays, 59 yards, the numbers on that scoring drive. 9-yard pass from Huff to Watson. Huff with his 2nd touchdown pass of the game, his 24th of the season.
Is that 2 unanswered touchdowns for the Corsairs?
They scored on back-to-back possessions after recovering the onside kick.
I have a feeling that this is going to be another onside kick.
No! Really? Can I call you Captain Obvious? Is that okay? Have you ever been called Captain Obvious before?
I have.
You have.
I grew up with 5 older siblings, so I've been known to be known as Captain Obvious.
Okay, so I think you're definitely living up to your name. Here's an onside kick, and this one's going to be caught and covered up by the Lobos. And making the catch and kind of covering that one up, number 15. That is Ricardo Macon.
Right now, the defense has to compose himself for the Corsairs. They can't let Elmer get moving with his feet. They got to send the pressure. They got to cover the man's downfield to come in order for them to make a comeback. They're down by 2 scores, and they need to pressure Elmore.
Watson scoring his 7th touchdown of the season. So it's a first down for the Lobos at the Redwoods 49, and now we have a flag down. And if you look at the play clock, there's zeros on the play clock, so it's a delay of game penalty. Okay, help me out here. Normally, in a situation where you've got a delay of game penalty, doesn't the back judge normally throw that penalty? Throw that flag?
Normally they do, but looks like the referee and the far field judge.
1st and 15, they're going to give it to Norty, and Norty's going to run the ball forward for just a couple of yards. And now CR is going to start using timeouts.
A smart play right here by White to start using their timeouts. As far as they're down by 2 scores, this is a smart time to use their first timeout of the
Okay,
half.
so you really want that name Captain Obvious. I mean, you are really lobbying. Is their first.
That's their first.
Okay.
And I believe the Lobos either have 2 or 1, because they've used 1 in this half as well. So
Lobos 35, Corsairs 21. Still 3:08 remaining.
crowd trying to get the
Corsairs scored 14 points in a matter of 1 minute and 34 seconds. Now, on a fly sweep, they're going to hand the ball off to Howard, who's going to be brought down near the original line of scrimmage. You picked up about 4 yards on the play, and the Corsairs are going to call another timeout with 3:01 remaining.
Can I be Captain Obvious again?
You can't. You have my blessing. Okay, so go ahead now. I'm trying to set you up. I just gave you your cue.
Yeah, so smart timeout here too. Again by Jason White.
Okay, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to let you go. Smart timeout. Okay, keep going now here. Trying to help you out a little bit, so keep going.
Not delay the game a little bit, but just get the momentum going. Get the momentum back for their defense. To bring them together, to get their heads in this game, and to fight the battle that they're in.
Okay, so it's going to be 3rd and 9. Elmore out of the shotgun, wants to maybe throw it, and he does. He wants to air it out, and the pass downfield is going to be caught for a touchdown. As the defensive back on the play never turned around and never found the football. Looks like it was number 24 with the coverage. Might have been Lane Brandstetter, who was the corner on that right side of the field. And the Lobos basically kind of put that nail into the coffin.
Did he catch that behind the back?
I'm not sure. I just know that Brandstetter never turned around. And Macon ended up making the catch for the touchdown. Here's the extra point, and it's up and good. So in a 3rd and long situation, the Lobos, instead of just running the football, go up top and complete a long touchdown pass, a 47-yard touchdown pass, with 2:54 remaining. So Elmore with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, his 6th of the season. This one to Macon. Extra point was good. Three plays. 49 yards, the numbers on that scoring drive. Game was 28-7. After 3 quarters, the two teams have each scored 2 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter. Kick's going to be kind of a squib kick. That will be picked up by Pretty at the 17. He's across the 20, across the 25, before being kind of gang tackled at the 26-yard line. So Macon scores the touchdown.
So it looks like we have a late penalty. So it looks like we have another offsides on the kicking team. So again, the Lobos are going to re-kick the ball.
Elmore with 3 touchdown passes today. Doubles his total for the season. He came into today's game with only 3 touchdown passes, and now he has 6 for the season. So the Lobos now will kick from the 30-yard line with 2:46 remaining. After CR scored 2 touchdowns on back-to-back possessions, the Lobos answered. Lobos are now going to be kicking off from the 30-yard line. They're going to just punch it downfield, and the short kick's going to be taken at the 20-yard line by the Corsairs, and now we've got a flag down as that kick returned by Watson, and Watson's going to return it across the 35 to the 37-yard line. So a 17-yard return. good opportunity for us to recognize a few people up here in the press box. The guy next door to my right, assistant baseball coach, Hakeem Sadan, the proud of South Fork High School, doing a great job today. I know he's been helping out with the radio all year. And Coach Hope doing the PA today. Got Christian Katrick helping him out. Christian Katnick helping him out as his spotter. And then athletic director Bob Brown operating the scoreboard. And then Megan Valent doing a great job directing traffic as the sports information director and helping out with game management. And then, of course, Tino Romero and his crew. Maggie White doing a great job down there in the hospitality suites. We've got a nice group of people in the suites here, as far as guests of the president, and a lot of different people represented down in the suites here at the Redwood Bowl. Great venue, far and away the best venue for football here in the North Coast. So a first down at the 48. Huff back to pass, has some time, wants to float it downfield, and this one's going to be intercepted. And once again, that's Dixon just back playing center field. And Dixon comes up with the interception. Now is going to try to get to the outside, and Dixon is going to end up just running out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And we've got a couple of flags down that came on the return as Dixon now celebrating with his teammates on the far side of the field. So another turnover by the Corsairs. And according to my count, that's their 5th turnover of the game. And that doesn't include the special teams breakdowns.
Yeah.
Because when Huff had problems with that snap, that wasn't technically a turnover because he was just tackled inside his own 5-yard line because the possession never changed. It was a 4th down play.
After the interception, that penalty be added on, first down.
Okay, so the penalty comes on the return. And that was Dixon, who's done a really nice job of just being back there and playing center field. So Huff, who had thrown only 1 interception in his last 6 games as the starter, has thrown 4 today, as the Lobos defense has never really allowed him to kind of get comfortable in the pocket, Grant.
Yeah, and they sit heavy pressure, and especially Joseph Finley has been the top guy in the pressure they have.
And they kind of set the tone early.
Yeah.
So a first down at the 42-yard line, and they're just going to keep it on the ground. And carrying the ball is number 30. It's the backup running back. That's Jesus Organista, the ball carrier. Line of scrimmage was the 47. So it's going to be 2nd and 7 as the clock continues to run. And on 2nd down, they're going to keep it on the ground, and the ball carrier once again, that is Organista. And Organista is going to pick up enough for a first down to the 35-yard line. I was just kind of looking up on the wall and checking out some numbers. Kind of trying to figure out how many interceptions Dixon has right now. Now they're going to move the chains, and I'm sure that the Lobos right now can just kind of take a knee.
I think that was Dixon's 3rd interception in this game today. 2?
I think I just had him with 2. I was trying to figure out how many he had for the season. As Elmore now is just going to take a knee as the Lobos now kind of in a victory formation. Elmore is looking up at the play clock, and then of course we got a couple guys mixing it up front. Somebody ended up, even though the Lobos were just going to take a knee, one of the CR defensive players ended up pushing a lineman. Okay, so it's a personal foul penalty against number 50, Garcia. And you can see Garcia walking around. very, very frustrated. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So Garcia gets penalized, and you've got some of the Lobo players helping the officials step off the flag. That's number 56, kind of high-stepping. I think that's the center, Nick Chechi. Now, CR is going to take a timeout. That's going to be their third timeout with 50.7 seconds remaining. And I think Coach White wants to just kind of talk things over with his defense. And then Coach White also is taking advantage of this opportunity to give a few words to the referee, James Johnson. He's actually letting James Johnson have it as far as his thoughts on the job that James Johnson and his crew did today. James Johnson, the referee, the umpire, Steve Brown, the head linesman is Troy Welch, the line judge is Rich Robles, side judge is Keaton Cahill, the field judge, Brad Steinman, and the back judge is Craig Hare. You see that from time to time with coaches, whether it's basketball or whether it's football. They're using a timeout for a couple of different reasons, to maybe kind of calm down their players, but to also make a point.
Yeah.
And Coach White did exactly that. And you can tell he's kind of beyond frustrated about a lot of different things. And now Elmore's just going to take a knee, and it's all good as far as everybody getting along with one another along the line of scrimmage. And I think the Lobos are going to have to snap the ball one more time. But they keep snapping the ball too soon. They don't let any time run off the clock, because they're going to have to snap it one more time. But now they're saying 35 seconds on the play clock. So that's it. So as the clock winding down here in the Grizzly Bowl, here at the Redwood Bowl, and the Lobos beat the Corsairs by a final score of 42-21. So the Lobos picking up a very impressive win after losing during the regular season, week 4, right here at the Redwood Bowl, back on Saturday, September 24th. College of the Redwoods beat Monterey Peninsula 34-28, but a lot has changed since then. And here in the Grizzly Bowl, it's the Lobos 42 and the Corsairs 21. So coming up next, it will be the post-game show. And on the post
Grizzly Bowl. At this time, we'd like to honor our players of the game. First up, your defensive player of the game is number 95, Joey Fingley. The offensive player of the game, number 6, quarterback Joshua Elmore. And the 2022 Grizzly Bowl MVP is number 86, Kareem McHugh. We would like to congratulate head coach Ronnie Palmer and the entire Monterey Peninsula College football team on your victory here at the 2022 Grizzly Bowl.
He's a slow typer.
He's in. Hey, dog.
Yeah.
He's old school. Look at him.
Takes a while.
And we'd like to thank you for attending tonight's game, as well as attending our games all throughout the season. It's been a great year seeing all the
Good work, man.
cheers,
Good job.
Thanks.
and we hope that you drive home safely. We'll see you next year.
Man, I don't know what happened.
I can, yes.